On January 10th, 1969, the child of two legendary entertainers was born. She was raised by her biological father, Mr. Ike Turner, and she was often raised by her stepmother, Tina Turner. In a minute, you'll be able to hear from a woman who actually shares her honorable story with the Variety Talk family as she discusses her journey regarding being under the guidance of such great icons. This person is anxious to share her joys, her sorrows, her concerns, and some of the many things that she experienced as she was being raised by both parents. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Mia Turner. Welcome to the show, Mia.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I am fine. First of all, I feel very honored that we're able to share this story, that you came to share your story with us, because it's a big story and you have a lot to share. And not only is it a big story, but you're under the auspices of two very big, giant people who have been in the entertainment industry for decades, and Grammy Award winning, all sorts of awards that both Ike and Tina Turner have. Legends. They're just both legends. And so what's really important, Mia, is to not only have you share with the Variety Talk family your journey and what that's like to live under two icons and all of the experiences that you had, but we're going to spend a little time talking about some of your concerns that took place with the film in Hollywood and what you thought about that and your feelings regarding that. And some other very important things that you'd like to get straight. So we're happy to have you here to do that. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. So now, first of all, tell us a little bit. Okay, we know that Ike was your biological dad.
Absolutely.
For those who have not been around and may have missed this, Ike passed away. What year was that anyway that he passed away?
He passed away on December 12th of 2007.
Okay, so and also Tina Turner is your stepmom, and
Yes.
Before we go any further, let's address how is Tina right now?
Well,
There's been a lot of
this.
rumors going around. There's been a lot of rumors about her being ill, and nobody really knows the situation. But first of all, the Variety Talk family sends our love and concern for whatever, her health. And I understand that that's being kept very private right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I just want everyone to know we as the family is keeping that under lock and key, very private, like you said. But just know she's strong, she's amazing, and she's phenomenal. She is just fine. So no, just keep your prayers going.
Okay. Well, all right. So you heard that, Variety Talk family. Make sure you do that. So now that we're on Tina, tell us a little bit about what it was like to be raised by Tina, or how much time did you spend with Tina as a stepmom?
I spent a lot of time with her. The majority of the time was on weekends, holidays, summer break, because at 2, my grandmother raised me. So I spent those occasions with my dad and with Tina and my mother as well. But that was if they were in town. Because, during those times, late 60s, early 70s, they were on the road a lot.
Of course.
So it was a hit and miss, but when they were, we had a ball. We really did. But Linda, I want to stop just for one quick second before we get into all of this. I did a previous interview, and the backlash was that I was calling Tina a liar. And I know a lot of this is going to come later on in the interview, but I want to make the record clear right now. I am not here to bash Tina. I love Tina to this day as my second mother, but I think of her as my mother. So I have the utmost love and respect for her. I am actually here to clear up the Hollywood side of Tina's story. I'm not saying she lied. I'm not saying she did anything. I'm not here to bash her. So I just want to make sure I get that clear before we really get started.
Well, my dear Mia, you couldn't have done a better job. And I think that that is
Thank
so
you.
important because, as the old adage goes, when we were growing up, there's his side, there's her side, and then there's the real side.
The real side, correct.
And,
correct.
and frankly, I agree in the respect that you're going to address this a little bit also in the future about Hollywood and films and how they're portrayed, and you shared this with me, and I want to share this with the Variety Talk family. The fact that you were at your dad's bedside, Ike, and he asked you to please make sure that you at least share with everyone the truth, or an
Absolutely.
aspect of the
Absolutely.
truth. As you see it, as he sees it, and as it is, and frankly, we're going to go to a part of the story that shows that even Tina stated some things. So we'll get a chance
Correct.
to talk about that. But let's
Absolutely.
just start with childhood. And how old were you? 6, 7 years old when you were actually, Nick? Let's get the picture of Mia and Tina. Tell us about
That little
what were your
picture?
thoughts with that picture?
Why that one? Well, the deal is, Tina, when I was younger, always used to pull me to the side, do my hair, clean me up. And she told me one day, actually, it's the picture I'm thinking of, she's doing my hair. And what happened previous to that was I was outside playing with my brothers. 4 boys, and here's this girl playing in the mud, playing in the dirt, having a field day. She called me in and she goes, "Little Mia, you're a princess. Princess don't play in the mud. Don't play in the dirt. You have to always remain a lady." And of course, here's this 2-3-year-old girl going, "What? What are you talking about? I want to be with my brothers." So that's the story behind that picture. She was giving me a little pep talk at that time. And I still haven't forgotten it, 48 years later?
Yeah.
I still remember it like it was yesterday, and it
Yeah.
still makes my heart sing.
Well, you mentioned also that growing up in that house, or just the times that you spent in that house, was like Disneyland. Tell us about
Yes. Well, of course, like I said previously, it was my 4 brothers and myself. And then, of course, we had the Shaka Khan, we had the Gap Band, we had Natalie Cole, we had everyone at the house. And we laughed, we played, we joked, we ran, and that's how I knocked out the front 2 teeth running around the swimming pool. But we had pool parties,
that. I
barbecues.
thought you had a gap like me.
I do now.
Okay.
But the funny thing is when I was 5, 6 years old, and these 2 teeth got knocked out.
Oh, okay.
And I cried, and of course Tina came and goes, "It's okay, little Mia, it's okay. They'll grow back." What do you mean they'll grow back? But we had fun. And when I say it was a Disneyland, literally it was a Disneyland. I say uncles because the Gap Band at that time, I was told they were my uncles. Okay, they're my uncles. Natalie Cole was my aunt. Shaka Khan was my aunt. And we played, we laughed, we joked, we played pranks on one another all the time. And it was fun. I
Yes.
didn't know any different at all.
And
No different.
now Tina and I had 4 sons originally
Correct.
together.
Correct.
So where do you fall in line in terms of age past the last son?
I'm the baby.
You're the baby.
I'm
All
the
right.
baby.
Okay.
There's a 9.
All
The
right.
last boy,
Mhm.
the last son, Ronnie,
Mhm.
he's 9 years older than me. So there's a 9-year age gap between
Okay.
the boys, and then it comes down to me.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, tell us a little bit about your dad, Ike. And I know you got a whole lot to share there because, well, first of all, and I'm sure let's address the fact that your real mom would like
Yeah.
to remain private.
Absolutely.
But we can at least share that she was an ICAT.
Yes.
And she and your dad got married, and were married for 17 years, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So tell us about your relationship with your dad.
I was daddy's little girl. The saying goes, the sun rises and sets on their baby. That's what I could do no wrong. But at the same time, daddy was one of these people, and I mix it up sometimes and say is and was, so bear with me. Very generous, very kind, very loving, but he was also a stickler for education. Daddy pushed all of us to make sure we got our education. He made sure we knew how to balance school life, which was our business life, and our personal life. He started teaching us that at a very young age. And he made sure we had everything we needed. Not only us as his children, he also did it for people he did not know. If someone, he saw someone struggling, he would just give them money and hope it'll help them out. He bailed out a lot of friends. He had a big heart. And that's one of the things that I want to clarify or inform people of. I'm going to backtrack for a second when you brought up the fact that I made a promise to my father.
Mm-hmm.
A few months, years, whatever, prior to him passing, my dad, was feeling very remorseful based off the movie and how he could never say anything as far as in retaliation or rebuttal to the movie. So I want people to know, before the movie went into production, my dad signed a contract and got paid right then that he would not dispute how he was portrayed. So with his trust in Tina, he was like, I'm fine with that. So when we had this discussion, he said, Mia, I wish I could have said something. I said, you don't have to worry about that. I said, because I got you. If it takes to the last breath of my body, I'm going to make sure the people, the world, whether it's in the U.S., abroad, wherever, people know the truth. Because they're basing everything off the movie, and that's not fair to you.
Okay, and that's where we're going to take a quick pause, because that's where we're going to break this down even into a more defined answer for many people who are wondering, what is this truth that we're referring to? So we'll be back in a minute. Everyone, you're watching Variety Talk live from Las Vegas. You're sitting in with Lady Mia Turner, and I am your host, Linda Leak. We'll be back in a moment.